Hello everybody and welcome to, I believe, the final episode in this series of how to punish until there's a big balance patch anyway. And we saved the best till last. We saved the best till last. In this episode we are dealing with Jacqui Briggs. Now, Jacqui, when the game first came out, I don't think people really realized how strong she quite was. But subsequent top player usage and especially in an online environment, we're starting to see that she has a few mechanics that make her very difficult to deal with. Unfortunately, the nature of these mechanics mean that it's quite difficult to teach people how to punish anything in like one direct certain way, like it's X on block so you can punish it every time. But I'm recording this with my chat, so if there's anybody in chat who wants to chime in and help with a bit of information, by all means please do. But other than that, we're just going to go through it in the normal way, and I'll just let you know when we get to that point where it starts to get a bit tricky. So we'll start off with the normal moves. In this video, we're only going to do her first round KO variation because it's very, very, very rare to see the next gen variation based around the mechanic that is in this variation, which is the special move cancels. The normal move cancels, rather. So, yeah, let's start from the beginning. We'll start off with her special, with her normal moves. Jacqui is, well, actually, now I'll explain that when I get to it. So, standing 1, -2 on block, 7 frames, very fast. She's got an overhead, which is -10, but be careful, usually people tend to do this in the corner. And it can sort of weirdly be used as an anti-air as well, but it's got quite a lot of pushback if you block it, so it might be a bit tricky to block, but it is -10, so it's not safe. Forward 1, it's 11 frame mid, -2 on block. Down 1, it's also 7 frames, which is -3. Standing 2, it's high, which is +1. Back 2, this is one of her best moves, back 2. You have to be careful about back 2 because this is her main way. Jacqui's outside of forward 3, which we'll get to in a minute. Back 2 is her longest range normal. So, you'll see in this sort of range, especially if you're trying to zone her out, as I play Garrus, so the best way to deal with Jacqui, as my chat has just said before we start recording, is to make sure she doesn't get close to you so she can get her craziness started. So as a Garrus player, I like to try and catch her with a stray sand trap to try and keep her out. But what they can do is, from this far away, if you are relying on a zoning game, she can use back 2. I mean, it's not safe, it's -10, but as you can see, the range is pretty far. So just be wary. It is a mid as well, so you can't duck it. So just be very wary from this sort of range. They're going to be looking to back 2 you into a combo, back 2, etc. So, yeah, back 2, -10, it isn't safe, but the range on it is very far, so she can potentially whiff punish you or punish a projectile that you've thrown, especially something like a sand trap. So yeah, be careful of back 2. Forward 2. Forward 2 is an interesting move. This is what it looks like normally. It's -14 on block, sort of like a little uppercut. If you double tap it, it becomes this dragon punch. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll get to the Superman punch when we go through her moves, but yeah, you'll see why back 2 is terrifying as well later on when we get to her special moves. If you double tap 2, you'll get this dragon punch. I mean, again, you probably won't have to worry about that so much in neutral. Generally, Jacqui's tend to use this in combos, so yeah, as a combo extender. But forward 2 and forward 2 into this, they're both unsafe, -13 and -14. So if you block either of those, make sure you get a full punish. Down 2 is her uppercut, -7. Then she's got standing 3, which is this kick, -10. You won't really see that in neutral, but just to let you know, it's a high. Just by itself. I'll explain the practicality of it afterwards. Back 3 is a low. This is quite a scary low, -7. Be careful if you're blocking high because she can catch you with that into a full combo. So it is safe as well, and it's quite fast as well for a low. Similar to Sub-Zero's one. Sub-Zero's is 13 frames, but it works in a similar sort of way. Then we have her best move, her best normal move, which is forward 3. So, there are very few characters in the game, I believe 5 characters in this game, that have what is known as the golden 9-frame mid. So, the nature of this game is, at the moment, there seems to be quite a, shall we say, quite a strong focus on having a good poke button. So Garrus has a 6-frame down 1. Aaron Black has, you know, his down 3 and down 4. Every character that has a strong down 1 or strong lows, especially, they seem to deal with mix-ups and pressure better because they go over highs. So, you know, high crushing stuff in this game is quite a strong strategy, especially when it comes to stealing turns. However, characters with 9-frame mids, they tend to bypass that poke game, because if you're mashing, the fact that it's 9 frames means that it's going to blow up whatever down button that you do. So, you know, if you try and even if you don't try and mash a down one, if you try and do a move that's unsafe, generally you'll be checked by a low button, but then you can't combo into it. But the reason why the 9-frame mids are strong is because you can combo into them. So generally they're strings that lead into big combos and more damage. So Jacqui's forward 3 is a 9-frame mid, which in and of itself would make it terrifying. But when we get to her strings, you'll see why it's even more terrifying. You can see here cancel. That's not the cancels we'll be talking about momentarily, but yeah, 9-frame mid. It's -2 on block, so it is safe, and it's got quite a long range as well. She will be punishing you with this from if you whiff a button from a reasonable distance. Then you got standing 4, -8, which is a high. Back 4, which is -14, which is unsafe, but that's her sweep. But she can cancel it and just do this shin kick, which is -3. Standing 4, which is mostly used in the corner. I think it's a combo extender. I've never really seen that move used, to be honest with you, but it's -9, so it's unsafe. And then lastly, you've got this, her down 4, which is -8. Generally, they tend to use down 3s, though. I didn't talk about down 3, did I? Down 3, which is also 9 frames, but you can see the range is quite good, and it's -6 on block, so that's generally the down pokes that Jacquies tend to use. So yeah, standing forward 3, that's the big button. Yeah, that's more. Well, this is why I'm doing it, because I hate it too. So it's about time that if there wasn't already at least an attempt to make a guide on how to deal with this, with the pressure. So yeah, that's all of her normal moves. As far as I'm aware, there's no crushing blows outside of down 2. No. She doesn't have crushing blows on her throws either, again, as far as I'm aware. But we'll talk about the throws. So she has a different mechanic on her throws, but we'll talk about that at the end in her special moves. Right. Jacquie's strings. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to do her normal strings. You see the ones with cancel attached. We're going to do her normal strings, and then we're going to do the strings that have cancel. You see she's got a lot of moves. Much like Jax, she has a lot of moves. So, hold on. I accidentally put a cancel one in there. Where did I put the cancel? Oh, let me clear that. So, okay, yeah. So we're going to do her non-cancel moves, and then we're going to do her cancel moves, because they're two very different things, and I'll explain why when we get to them. So, 1-1, just a normal punish, 11 frames, +2 on block. So she's actually high mid, she's actually at advantage here, so be careful if she's just pressing buttons like that. Forward 1-2, -4. Mid. That is safe. 2, 2, 4 is -5. I think that looks like you can flawless block it. I mean, I probably can count on one hand the amount of times I've seen people pull the trigger on that, but again, for the sake of posterity, let's see if we can flawless block it. Whoops, forgot to block. Man, maybe you can't flawless block it. Maybe you can't flawless block it. Okay, you can't flawless block it. It looks like you can, but you can't. So that's 2, 2, 4. Interesting. It looks like there's a gap there, but there isn't. Back 2, 2. So this is what I was telling you about. So this is back 2. This is what back 2, 2 looks like. So the second hit is actually a high. Can you duck there? Can't imagine you can. No. See? So the way that this the back 2 jails you essentially. So even though it's, I wonder if you can do it on whiff though. See, the range of it's hard to... Jeez Louise. It's hard to even judge where she's... Yeah, so it is a high. You can duck the second hit if the first hit whiffs. You're probably better off just whiff punishing the whole thing though than trying to duck it. But if she does hit you with both back 2 2s, even though the second hit is a high, it jails you so you can't duck it. Batista and Nunez. Yeah. So, be careful of this. So be careful of the back 2, and she can cancel it. -7, that is essentially safe as well. So, and then she can special cancel that, but we'll get into that in her special moves. For 2, 2, this is the uppercut thing I was telling you about. -13, it's unsafe. 3, 3, high mid. This is a crushing blow. So what this does is, mostly I see this being used to, they'll duck a throw, and then it pops you up, and then they get a full combo. So yeah, be careful of the 3, 3 crushing blow. Then you've got back 3, 2. It's back 3, 2, which is an overhead, so you have to block the last bit. But back 3, 2 is -3, which is safe. Back 3, 2 is, let's say, -12. Unsafe, but she does push you back, so it might be a bit tricky to punish, but it is unsafe. Then you've got back 3, 4. So this move is an interesting one. A lot of Jacquies like to do this on people because back 3, as we've said, 14 frame low, -7. This back 3, 4 is terrifying because it puts a plus, and the last thing you want... Oh, really? Yeah, Anishin has just told me that you can actually 3-3 in between Garrus's forward 2-1-2. I mean, if Garrus's forward 2-1-2, the more this game is played, the less and less use it has, because unfortunately a lot of characters can just breeze straight through it. But yeah, if you're a Garrus player, be careful, because you can do that underneath your string, and then crushing blow you. But yeah, so this string, let's record it so you can see the options that we can do. So it's this one. You can flawless block it if you're not rubbish. Oh, come on. See, you can flawless block it. So if you think they're going to do it, that is not free pressure. Because what Jacquies will like to do is they like to get you in the corner and then start pressuring with back 3, 4. And because it is +4, the last thing you want is Jacqui to have plus frames against you, because that means she's going to try and impress you even harder with her 9 frame mid. So you need to try and teach it. If you try and flawless block any string in this game, you can actually interrupt it as well. So yeah, just 1-1 through it as well. As Anishin just said, you can, you know, if you miss the chance to interrupt it, you can flawless block it, but it has a ginormous gap in between it as well. So my standing one is 7 frames, so the gap is at least 7 frames. I'm not sure how long the gap. Do you know how long the gap actually is, Anishin? So do not let them get away with oppressing you with that move, because as I said, it's plus frames, but there is a ginormous gap into it. So whatever character you have, I'm sure that you'll have a fast enough button to just straight up prevent it without having to flawless block it. But if you do block it, +4 means that she's massively at advantage, so do not press buttons afterwards. She might try and throw you, so if you read the throw, then you can jump. So it's an 11 frame gap. Thank you, Nishan. It's an 11 frame gap. So if you've got a move less than 11 frames, you can interrupt it. So just do not let her get away with that free pressure on you, because that's the last thing Jacquies need, is an opportunity to get even freer pressure against you. Right. 4-3-1-4. This is part of her mix-up, actually. Yes, it's -6 on block, so it is safe. 4-3-1 is a cancelable move. We'll talk about that in a minute. Then you've got 4-3-1. So this is finishing off the string. You see, this is an on-hit string. So they just finish that off. It knocks you down, puts you at the perfect range for a dash punch, which we'll talk about in a minute. Then you've got 4-4. This is used mostly as a combo extender in the corner. Generally, again, you don't teams to see this in neutral. But -7. And then finally you have this move, mid, forward 4-4, -5 on block. It is safe. So, those are her normal strings. However, like we've said, Jacqui isn't a normal character, in the sense that she has a mechanic that no other characters in this game have, which allows her pressure to be considered quite difficult to deal with. And I'll show you why. So, you can see, next to these moves, she has something called cancel. And what that means is Jacqui, by pressing L2, so this is what 2-2 looks like, right? We've talked about it, -6 on block. However, if Jacqui presses L2 after she's pressed 2-2, she cancels the move. Now, if you're wondering, what's the point of this then? If you're cancelling the move, then it's not hitting. So, you know, you don't have to deal with it on block or whatever the situation is. That's not what makes it strong. So you can see how normal block advantage works. You do a move, and it's minus a certain number, right? Standing 3 is -10. So you know, if this move hits you, unless you're playing online, lol, you have 10 frames to punish. However, as you can see, so 2-2 normally is -6. However, if you cancel it, it's now 0. So she's gone from being minus frames to even, which means that she's straight back to taking her turn again. So she's not minus at all. So if you try and press a button there, she's probably, if you don't press a button as fast as hers, it's going to trade and then she's going to come out on top. So that is why cancelling with her is so strong. You see 1-1-2 as well, -1. So it goes from being -4 and pushing you back, so you can see it pushes you back a little bit, to -1, and she can just continue the pressure over and over again. And if you press the button at the wrong time, you are going to be clipped. But these aren't the scariest buttons, because you can see both of these are high starters, right? So if you read that she's going to cancel it again into 1-1, so say 2-2 cancel, you can down 1 her or you can down 2 her, crushing blow and get the counter hit. You know, it's scary. Yeah, no turns for Jacqui Briggs, yeah. They're scary, but they're not terrifying. The thing that makes Jacqui an absolutely horrific character to deal with, and the main part of her offense, is the fact that she can forward cancel her 9-frame mid. So, as we can see, minus forward 3 on block is minus 1. Is minus 2, sorry. Forward 3, 1 on block is minus 2. Right? Forward 3 cancelling is also minus 2. And what that means is she's at the same pressure here regardless of what option she chooses to do. And that's where the scariness comes in, because you don't know when you can press a button. Because if she keeps doing this, it's not safe. It's minus 2. You can interrupt it. But the scary part is if you try and press a button after she presses forward 3, if she finishes off that string, you're going to get hit. And this is why it's scary. So she's got a 9 frame mid. You can't mash because it means that she's going to hit you with the forward 3 and she's going to get a full combo. But the scary thing is, she's going to do this. And you're not going to know when she's going to pull the trigger on the forward 3-1. And if she does pull the trigger on the forward 3-1, she's going to combo it into the grease kicks and she's going to get a full combo for max damage. This is I cannot import to you, this is the scary bit. And this is what I was talking to you at the start of the video about, why it's difficult to give you a comprehensive guide, because there's no read. You'll find some people online saying, oh, if you listen to the way she breathes, you can tell when she's going to cancel. It's rubbish. There's absolutely no truth to that whatsoever. The only way that you can deal with Jacqui, unfortunately, is to respect her until she either finishes a string. So she could finish it into this. Yeah, exactly. As Papa Mashroom just said, reading the cancel is impossible too, and at best it's a 50-50 with a massive punish at the end. And because, you know, either she's going to pull the trigger on it or she's not going to pull the trigger on it, and she's going to keep you locked in the pressure basically, and you're too afraid to press a button until the one time you think, right, it's now safe to press a button, you get hit with the forward 3-1 because she hasn't cancelled it into full combo damage. So my advice to you is to basically you have to respect it until you're sure you get a read. So if she does stuff like jumps in on you and then she's going to do 3 in a row, then because she's done 3 in a row loads, then you can try and punish it or go for a grab or something, because she can actually mix you up as well and go for a grab. So, you know, you're blocking the pressure, and then she grabs you. So, you know, and there's no time limit to it. She can do it 100 times and then grab you, or she can do it once and then grab you. So you have to keep an eye out for the grab as well. Obviously, you can't keep ducking because the forward 3 is a mid. So if you duck, it's going to hit you. So you can see now the layers of why she's such a strong character to deal with. So yeah, my advice again, cannot reiterate enough, is you just have to respect it until she pulls the trigger on the forward 3, and then forward 3-1-4. Hey, Darth Armor, how you doing, my dude? It's been a long time, bro. Are you good? Darth Armor, ladies and gentlemen, for those that are unaware, top level American commentator, Mortal Kombat commentator and analyst who also streams twitch.tv/Darth Armor. Check him out. How you doing, my man? How did you think of Evo? What did you think of the tournament, man? We're just going through. I'm trying to explain to people how to punish Jacqui when there's no real way to give a comprehensive guide on how to punish Jacqui. I mean, how do you explain to somebody about when the right time? Yeah, I'll try, man. I mean, like I was just saying, my main advice to you guys is just to respect it until she finishes off a string, because like I said, 1-1-2 and 2-2 are both scary, but it's the forward 3-1 that's the scariest. Because even here, because she might do forward 3-1 and then she might do another forward 3-1 and do a 4 and then finish it off into that command hit, pushing it full screen. Yeah, it's sort of got to that point now, hasn't it? I mean, I was gonna do top 3 grand finals and analysis after this, but I can imagine it's gonna be quite short. So yeah, that's the scary thing with Jacqui, is just dealing with the cancels and just you just have to be ready for it. That's all it is. You have to be ready and you have to respect it. Because if you watch top Jackies like Ninja Killer, you'll see 90% of the time when they get a combo. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're waiting for a gap and then you're like, oh crap, I've just eaten 400 chip damage. Yeah, so Darth Armor in chat just said that she is minus on all of these strings, but again, it's not the minus part of it. It's like I just said, he falls for the staggers. Her stagger game, one of the main, say, options, or not options, one of the main mechanics I would say in this game is forcing the opponent with what is called staggers, which is essentially normal moves in strings that sort of they put you in a pressure situation where you're not sure where to press a button, because you know, Kung Lao's forward 1 would be considered a good stagger, Liu Kang's forward 4, because it puts you in a situation where they can put a follow-up, so it's only slightly minus, but then it puts you in a situation where there is a potential follow-up that can lead to big damage. And this is why this is terrifying, because she can just do her pressure staggers over and over again. I mean, look how many times I've done it. You can interrupt this, you can jump, it's not unbeatable, but you know, that one time you think it's safe to press a button, she does forward 3, 1 into that, and you're in the corner and you've just eaten, what, 36% damage. So yeah, like I said, key points to take away is just to respect. You just have to respect it and just press a button if you get a read, or if she finishes off a string. You know, you can go for a grab, but then you have to be careful about grabs, which I'll talk about at the end. And if you condition with a grab, you can go for a mid of your own and try and get a big combo, but you just have to be patient. That's the main way of fighting Jacqui, is just being patient and not forcing your turn, because then you're just going to get counter hit with the 9-frame mid into big damage. So yeah, that's her normals. I mean, it's we've gone over her normals in a bit more detail than we usually tend to, because you know, it is pretty devastating to deal with. So it's better that we talk about it in detail, so you know exactly what she can do and exactly how to deal with it. Yeah, that's her mids, basically her strings. She's got a few decent. She's not got many special moves that I mean, she's got a few, but the ones that she's got a bunch, but she's only got a couple that she tends to use more frequently. So Shrapnel Blast is her sort of pseudo projectile. She can amplify it and get a mid one. Both of these are unsafe. She does have she can do it in the air, sort of to change her jump arc. So don't really see Jackies tend to use that, but it is an option. I'm sure more high-level Jackies tend to use that as an option to change their jump animation, maybe to get over a projectile or a wake-up fatal blow. The up version can be used as an anti-air, but mostly it's used as an extender in the corner. Also unsafe. All of these are unsafe. She can amplify it and hold it and then delay it, but again, I don't think I've ever seen that in an actual match, but it is an option that she has. Oh, you can duck the second shot. Oh, of course. Thank you, Nishin. You can actually duck, which I didn't notice. It's a high. So you can actually duck. If you get a read on the second Shrapnel Blast, you can see it's actually a high as well, so you can duck it. One of the main special moves she has that you have to watch out for is this, which is the Bionic Dash or Superman Punch. So, this is a high, so if you get the read, you can duck it and down to Crushing Blow, but you're not going to get a full punish afterwards because it is -7, so it is essentially, well, for all intents and purposes, it is safe. However, where the mix-up comes into, as I was talking about back to 2, hey, Crazy Gamer, how's it going, my man? You alright? As you can see, why it's scary is because you think, alright, well, she's going to dash punch, so you go to duck because you think, oh, from about this range, she's going to dash punch me, because obviously it's going to hit from there. However, from this range, back 2 also hits, and then she can combo into dash punch. So, you know, you end up getting hit with a dash punch anyway. So you just have to be very careful from this sort of range, because you will still get hit by the back two. Generally, you'll see them try and pull a trigger. Like I said, because I play Geras, I try and sand trap. She can reversal punish with this every single time, because it's only a 13 frame start, so you're not reacting to that. She can punish sand trap every single time. But yeah, you just have to be careful, because it's more often than not they're going to use back two, because they can combo into the Superman punch anyway and make it safe. Down back four. Yeah, we're gonna get to grease kick in a sec. But yeah, just be very wary of the bionic dash, and because why not? It has a crushing blow attached to it. If she hits you from max range, it does 240 damage. Be careful if you play a female character as well, because the way female characters... I'm really good, man. I'm really good. I'm not as tired after Evo as I thought I'd be, staying up till 5 AM, but I'm doing okay. Did you manage to catch the finals in the end? Yeah, the way female hitboxes work in this game is a bit weird. So she can actually get that as a combo. So even though the mechanic is it only works on maximum range, the way that the hitbox works is if she hits you with a back 2-2 and you're a female character, it pushes you far enough back that it sort of counts as maximum range. So if you play a female character, be careful, because she can back 2-2 you into the Superman punch and get a crushing blow. Grease kick. Oops. Switch didn't put on blocks. Grease kick is her main combo extender. You can see minus 18. It is unsafe, but it does push you back quite a long way, so it can be quite tricky to punish. The last hit is a high. She can amplify it on block 2, so be careful, because the amplify on block is a mid. So if you go to duck the last hit, let's see if you can. I'm sure you can duck it. Hold on. Let me do it actually on block. Oh, I amplified it. See, that's the mix-up, is that they can amplify it on block. So if you go to duck it, you can get hit and launched into a full combo, but we just want to do the normal one. See, it is a high. So sometimes when Jacqui messes up their confirms, they'll do, they'll pull the trigger on that anyway, just to get a bit of pressure. And as I said, even though it is minus 18, sometimes it can be quite tough to punish, because it pushes you out of range. However, the last hit is a high, as you saw. So you can punish it and get a full combo. So, but again, you have to be careful, as I showed you by accident just now. If they choose to amplify it on block, which they can, then it's a mid and they get a full launch. So just be wary there when they're going to pull the trigger. But generally they don't tend to. I saw it actually on Saturday at Evo, but generally they don't tend to pull the trigger on block there. Oh yeah, and just to quickly go back to the strings, there's one key point that I missed, is that her cancels don't cost any meter. That's why it's so oppressive. So it's not like a Scorpion teleport cancel or a Raiden Superman dive cancel or anything like that that generally tends to cost meter. Her cancel doesn't cost any meter. So that's why it's so oppressive, is that she can continually do it without any cost, which is unique to her. As far as I'm aware, there's no other cancels in this game that are free like that don't cost meter. So yeah, it's just another thing just to take in mind why she's considered such a strong character. And then lastly, the reason why I skipped over this move is because this is another big... this is a move that's specific to this variation, Finest KO. She has this move called the Lethal Clinch. So, some Jackies like to do it after they do a string, because they know that you're going to be so ready to press a button that they tend to do it anyway to try and catch you out trying to press a button after a string, and they can catch you. But it is minus 18, so if you block it, yeah, her sweet, yeah, we talked about that, the shin kick being cancelable. Everything's cancelable, bro. That's the only thing. It even cancels out your fun. If she does pull the trigger on the clinch and you block it, it's minus 18. I'll show you why it's why it's a scary move, and especially it's only in this variation as well, finest KO. So this is her main combo ender, so she'll do blah 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 combo, get you in the clinch. She can only hold you for a specific period of time. As you can see, if you don't not do anything, she does let go. But she does have 3 options. So she's got this suplex, so she can hit you. Well, if you're good Jacqui players can actually hit you 4 times, but generally you're only allowed to hit somebody 3 times in the clinch. So you do the knees, so you get 2 knees and then an ender. So you get 2 knees, and then she has this belly to belly suplex. So if you're in the corner and she hits you with it, she can throw you back in the corner. Or if she goes for the clinch, she can do 2 knees and then this double knee, which is usually the main ender because it does the most damage, and you can see it's got quite a lot of corner carry. And then thirdly, she's got this elbow drop. So if you do 2 knees, do 2 knees, and then the elbow drop, you get a knockdown, right? However, the reason why this is scary is because, see, you have to be good to get the 3 knees. I just want to see if I can do it. The reason why this is scary is this clinch actually has a crushing blow attached to it. Whereas if they hit with the previous 2 bits, so if they hit you with the knee and they hit you with the belly to belly, what it does is it locks up a crushing blow for the overhead. So she already does about 320 damage from her 1-bar combos. But what happens is she can end the combo in this and then get even more damage to it. So just be wary. If you see it, if you're fighting a Jacqui and she gets you with the she's already got you with the belly to belly and the knee, then she's probably going to hit you with this. I generally don't tend to break against Jacquis unless I think that they've got this. I try to save it if I know that they've got the other 2 done for this, because if she hits you with a full combo, then this, especially in the corner, you're going to be eating a lot of damage. So yeah, just be very careful. If she's already done the big knee on you and she's already done the belly to belly on you, that means that she's got this locked and loaded and she's going to get mad damage on you. So make sure you try and break out of that if you can. So yeah, these are all the moves. The cancels, the scary string cancels, this clinch are both specific to this variation. But then the last thing she's got in this variation, if she didn't have enough tools, is Jacqui is the only character in the game that doesn't only have the ability to cancel special moves, she also has the ability to reverse tech throws. So remember what I said to you before about having the ability, like when she finishes a string. That was weird. Just as I hit Garrus twice, it beeped twice outside. I was like, it's not connected, is it? So obviously, she has throws like every character in the game has throws, right? And if we just switch to Garrus here and record her throwing, you can tech her throws. Oh, not if you do choose the wrong way. You can tech her throws like every other character in the game, right? And alternatively, she can tech your throws, just like every other character in the game. So far, so good, right? Nothing sinister. Right, I've teched. However, what she can do, if she chooses to amplify, she can reverse tech your throws. So you see, it makes it even scarier because you think, right, I've got an option, I'm going to give her a throw and just try and reset the neutral, try and get a knockdown. If she reads your throw right, so if either way she's got it on both back and forward throw, if she techs your back or forward throw, she can spend 1 bar of her meter and she can reverse tech essentially you and do the same damage back to you that you were going to do from her in a throw. You can tech it. So if she does this to you, so if she techs you with her reverse tech, you can tech it back. She can tech your throw, as I've already shown, and throw you back, but also you can tech her throws back if you're ready for it. So it's not unbreakable damage, it's not something that she can just do without, and it does cost her bar, but you do have to be ready for her when she does it, because it works the same way as a normal throw works. So she can throw you, if it's a back or a forward throw, you do have to still tech it the same way if it was a back or like a real back or forward throw. So, but yeah, just be ready, because if you throw her, she techs you, she can amp it and turn it into her own throw, because, you know, just another tool. But yeah, that's Jacqui. It's probably gone into a bit more detail than other characters, but that's just because she has a lot of tools to deal with, and she's considered a really strong character for the reason that she has these tools. I mean, it's not like Sonya, the kick stall switch. Oh, what, the cancel? Oh, I've spoken about that. Firstly, how's it going, Crazy Cad? Secondly, I'm going to post this video up on my YouTube so you can see, because I talk about it in a lot of detail. But yeah, basically what I was just going to say is she has a lot of options. I mean, obviously Sonya has strong 50-50s, which is just a guess, and then Cassie has strong normals, but neither of them has the ability to keep you guessing in such a relentless way as Jacqui does with her cancels, which is why she's considered such a strong character in this variation. So yeah, watch out for the cancels, watch out for the reverse techs on your throws, watch out for the mid-string combo crushing blow that she has. She has access to a lot of damage. The dash punch is safe, so be careful. If you try and do like a standing one or something afterwards, be ready to eat a down 2 for your troubles. Back 2, excellent range, but like I said, when it comes to the cancels, you just have to be patient and respect it. You can't, if you mash against Jacqui, you're going to get absolutely starched, because she's just going to keep applying the pressure. She's got, like I said, she's got 9-frame mid, which means that she bypasses the normal down poke counter game. So instead of stealing her turn back or just trying to interrupt, she can just straight up take another turn and get a full combo. So yeah, just be very, oh, I thought I was Jacqui. Just be very, very careful. Is the best advice I can give you. You know, plus 11 on hit. She can follow up with another one, or she can follow up with 2-2, or, you know, it essentially, yeah. You just have to focus on blocking, and just if she finishes off a string, you know, that gives you the possibility. That's when you take your turn. Or if you think she's just going to keep cancelling, you can interrupt it. It's not safe. It's -2. We've established it's -2, which is not safe. But, you know, the fear is, when is she going to pull the trigger, you know? She's going to pull the trigger. Is she going to finish off the string? You've just been hit by it. Into grease kicks, into a full combo. So, yeah, that's Jacqui Briggs. It's she's outside of her getting patched, which, to be honest with you, even if she does get patched, I can't imagine they're going to patch the cancelling element. Maybe, as Papa Masher said in chat, they might make the mid slightly slower. But yeah, for the time being, very, very difficult character to deal with offensively, because of how she bypasses the normal mechanics of the game. Not just with her special cancels, but with her reverse throw techs and mid combo crushing blows. But yeah, that's Jacqui. As I said, might be a bit longer than usual, but it's just because she has so many mechanics to talk about. I'm recording this video on my Twitch, so hit me up, twitch.tv/sodiumgym, if you want to hang out, if you want to, you know, if you want to talk. I think Jacqui's the last character now, so, you know, until the DLC comes out, obviously I'm going to do a Nightwolf one. But I've done all the other characters, as far as I'm aware. I could be mistaken, but they seem to be people seem to like them, because, you know, can be quite difficult to deal with these sorts of punishing characters if you've never played a fighting game before, or if you're unsure about how the mechanics work. So yeah, check out the rest of the characters, check out my other videos too. Hit up Anishan and Darth Armor on Twitch, because if you want to learn some more stuff, then they're both super knowledgeable and they'll help you out as well. Hit me up on Twitter @SodiumGym, give me a like and a subscribe if you like what you see, leave me a comment if there's anything else you'd like to see me do. And yeah, that's it for now, probably until Nightwolf comes out and I do a Nightwolf video, or whoever else comes out. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, I hope you've learned something, and stay salty. Take care, everyone.